Hey, what's going on, Europe in Ruins, and welcome to another Europe in Ruins developmental podcast. Oh man, shoutcast and a podcast in the same day, you guys are some lucky people. My name is Groundfire, your leading source for all Europe in Ruins propaganda, and with me today for our interview is our infamous lead RGD developer, BobSmith, and he's going to answer our questions on balance, doctrines, and in general, just give us a heads up on what's going to be happening in Europe in Ruins over the next couple months. Hi, Bob.
Hello.
Glad to have you with us. From what I hear, you guys have some interesting stuff coming down the pipe. So let's get right into the interview. I'm going to start from the top. Question one. Luftwaffe just came in, but we still have Royal Canadian Artillery to go. Can you tell us a little of what that doctrine's going to be like? Is there anything cool? What else is coming with the next patch that's major and exciting?
Well, the next patch is basically going to focus on RCA. RCA is basically just a bunch of long-range unit buffs and artillery buffs, and it has some commander buffs too. One of the goals for RCA was not to overbuff artillery, since artillery spam is never fun. It has this 95mm Cromwell. It's basically a Cromwell with a Stu gun, and it has a turret. It's a pretty cool unit, but in our tests it performed far better than Stu because it wasn't limited to small traverse. Other than RCA, there's not really much in the next patch except for bug fixes and some balancing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that Cromwell. I'm going to have the demonstration video running in the background to this podcast, so guys pay attention. That's what you're getting. All right, so question number two. After this revision of the doctrines is completed, what will the RGD team be focusing on next? What will your goals be for Europe in Ruins in the imminent future?
The doctrines are never finished. If you recall, we've had 3 or 4 doctrine reworks that never finish, gets halfway through, and then we start a new one.
Oh yeah, those are always fun.
Yeah. This time around, we're really close to finishing, and it looks like we're about to finish too. After the rework, I'm actually having another rework planned.
Oh no.
It's not really a complete overhaul like our old reworks. We're not messing with the system or anything. We just be balancing, tweaking abilities. And after that, we're going to have the critical and repair system rework, and that's going to be pretty cool. It's something people have been wanting for a long time. After that, there's going to be a veterans rework, which is going to fix up all the problems with current vet, maybe add new vet levels. Then we're going to work on our supply pool costs, then reward units, war map, a lot of things to do.
All right, so let's hit each one of those things individually then. We'll go to question number 3. Are we going to go back and rework any of the boring doctrines then, like defensive and tank hunters, which were one of the first ones to come in, and they're not on par with the later doctrines. What are those ones going to be like?
Well, the design philosophy changed halfway through the doctrine development, and we got to bring the old doctrines in line with the new ones. One of the things that we're hoping to accomplish with the new doctrines is more standardization, like balance between doctrines and stuff like that. For example, each doctrine will have 3 off maps, 3 unit unlocks, and 3 unit upgrades. There might be some exceptions for certain doctrines that have more than 3 unit upgrades, but generally that's how it will go. Currently, only a few doctrines have scouting abilities, like military intelligence, scouting run, and I hope to give all doctrines the ability to have some sort of scouting ability with flavor to it. It's sort of tank intelligence for tank hunters. The uses for scouting abilities will also be dropped down from 3 to 2, because there will be so much more scouting abilities accessible. Alright, here's an example. There will be 3, all the doctrines will be split into 3 different groups. Similar groups will have similar abilities. For example, tank hunters and armor and engineers are all the same type because they're all tank doctrines. Example for how the doctrines will be, the unlocks will be, for defensive and military. Tier 1, they both have military intelligence. Tier 2, they will have for the fatherland and stacking shells. Tier 3 will be artillery saturation and rocket artillery. The defensive 250 millimeter Nebel and the Pack 36, it was supposed to come out during the rework, but we decided to bring it out early for some playtesting. They're pretty cool units, but they aren't exactly balanced yet. We're also going to be reworking the boring abilities and creating fun things to do with the doctrines. My goal is to create some fun instances where you want to go dual tier 3s, like Scorched Earth, for example, with the moving ISTs that fire incendiary shots. I think that's a pretty cool alternative to going at tier 4. And I want to rework all tier 3s where you have the viability of choosing 2 tier 3s versus going for a tier 4. And if everything goes perfectly, the tier 1s would be small buffs, and the tier 2s would be timer buffs maybe, and things like that, other small things. Tier 3s will give you cool abilities moving things and, moving ISTs, for example, that terror ability that lets you move while suppressed, cool things like that. And the tier 4s would be your major buffs that cover everything. But the goal of the rework is to reduce the amount of doctrine abilities that buff the same units, and hopes to promote combined arms instead of spamming just a handful of units.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. A little sub question real fast. You were talking about how you're standardizing the off maps. You just handed me a little sneak peek on every doctrine's supposed to get a precision strike off map. Could you tell us about the one that you just showed me?
Well, you mean every tank doctrine, because you have no off maps currently, engineers, tank hunters, and what's the last one? Armor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all going to get something similar to precision strike, not just a copy. But the one I handed you is going to be for tank hunters. It's more of a tank destroying related off map. Basically, it calls in a single homing missile. It has 0 accuracy, and everything is scattered. But it's going to do some decent damage, and it'd be pretty cool. With no smoke, it'd be pretty quick, but it won't hit every time, especially if the tank is moving. It'll be good against stationary tanks. So.
Okay, yeah, you guys just saw that playing in the video in the background. That's what the missile looks like, so expect that to come. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. What about a vet rework? That hasn't been touched in a while. Do we have plans to modify the unit veterancy, and to what extent?
Well, currently the vet system runs on a standardized system, and it's obviously not working that well because 20% damage on a tiger is a lot higher than 20% damage on a stud. We want to bring in unit-specific vet, so we can actually calculate what we want the vet to affect the unit, and determine that on actual numbers instead of just percentage increases. And I also want to bring flavor into the vet system, like vet 2. For example, some units have extra sticky range for riflemen, or the extra M8 mine for the M8s. I want to bring in more unit-specific vet like that into vet 2, preferably for every unit. And I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool once we do that, because the vet system is just really boring right now.
Yeah, but it used to be like that before, unit-specific vets, so we're just going to elaborate on that more. Do you have anything written out? What would a vet 3 Tiger get over a vet 3 Stug? Do you guys have that
we haven't actually gotten to the phase where we actually write things out yet, but these are just plans for the eventual veterinary work.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. All right, moving on. Question number 5. What are your plans for when the war map gets in? Will we have some type of system change? Will we have some systems changing? I know that ER Mod wanted to tie in a lot of in-game functions to the war map, such as off maps and reward units. Can you elaborate on this?
Well, the off maps and the reward units. Off maps are he wants to tie in after each game you'll get some cards or something, and on the cards they'll have certain advantages or rewards and stuff like that. You get one use of certain unit or something, and one of the cards he wants some sort of supply card, which will let you buy extra uses of off maps instead of paying PP or SP or whatever we have eventually. So the reward units, after all the reworks I have planned, I'll be working on the reward units, and the reward units that have like clear roles and don't overlap or replace current units will be put into the war map. The ones that don't will be made actual reward units, and those can be straight upgrades to current units or whatever, because they'll be better and people will have only one of them. These units will be available with the award system, and they will get award points through tournaments and whatever special events we might have. Other than that, a couple tweaks here and there with things. I doubt EIR will ever be finished. Maybe in like the distant future we'll be moving on to EIR 2 and COH 2 or something.
Yeah, that's a little far down the line, but just so everyone knows what's on the drawing board. Let's say that.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, question 6. I also heard that you guys have figured out a way to repair criticals on tanks. Well, you just mentioned that, but we haven't been able to do this up until now. So it sounds like we have a crit system change coming. Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. We'll be fixing the 2 major annoyances with our current repair system. The first one is like repair kits. Don't repair like the entire HP of a tank because they're just blanket kits that cover all units of the same type, and some of them don't have enough HP to repair units, Sherman for example. The second one is that I'm sure a lot of people know repair kits don't always repair the engine damage and stuff. We'll be able to repair engine damage with just a single repair kit. And we'll also have like specific repair kits for repairing just engine damage if we wanted to. And we could also think of some like really cool doctrine abilities and stuff that go into the new crit system. And we have a lot of new possibilities now.
Okay. That sounds great. I can't tell you how many times I've had that exact thing happen to me. I'm pretty sure everyone else has experienced it. So can't wait for that. Okay. Next question. Relating to the supply pool and the availability system. We just had the availability pools multiplied by 3 to allow for more balancing solutions. But I don't think you guys are completely done with this yet, obviously. So could you comment on that?
The availability system hasn't changed since it was first implemented. Some pools were really out of whack because, like, I'm sure you've noticed Luftwaffe, for example, can't really use up all their infantry. Use up all their resources in the infantry pool, and I think there's some other ones also. But so we're looking into changing the pool values for each doctrine, and also the pool cost for each unit, and balancing out the system.
Okay, but no like major overhauls or anything. We're just tweaking numbers pretty much.
Yeah, and we're not going to change the entire availability system again. There's really no reason to. The current system works out pretty well.
Okay. All right, and one of the final questions we have, I had an Ask the Devs thread up where members of the community could ask questions that we can have you answer, and they were absolutely no help except for I forget who it was, but we have one good question here, and I'm going to read it off right now. Okay. Are we ever going to get reinforcement packages back of some kind? Someone said no, but I've seen that button in my profile screen that says I can buy units that are not normally part of my army. What's the deal with reinforcement packages?
Well, by the time the war map comes in, we'll have reinforcement packages. They won't be like the same as the old packages. They'll be more like the new reward unit system. Like you'll pay reward points and you'll unlock a package of mixed units, probably reward units plus like units from other factions maybe. Basically, it'll just give you a limited limited amount of uses of the unit, and that's about it, I guess.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much it. You got anything else that's of interest for us to talk about here?
No, not really, I guess.
All right. Well, that was great. Hopefully, this enlightens some people so they know what's going on. Development is still in full swing. That is absolutely great, and can't wait to see some of the stuff hit the hit the launcher, hit the game, whatever. I can't wait to see it. Thanks for stopping by, Bob, and answering our questions.
Oh, no problem.
All right, and that's all we have for you guys. Stay tuned for any more podcasts that are coming down the line. Check out my shoutcasts. on YouTube and on the Europe and Ruins home site, GamerTube, wherever I happen to post them at that particular time. And I will try and keep you guys up to date on what's going on in Europe and Ruins. So we're going to say goodbye, and hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thanks a lot.